Hello, what's up? It's your El Maestro at nagbabalik na naman tayo ngayon para sa isa na namang tutorial video. Bago tayo magsimula ay nais ko muna kayong batiin ng isang magandang araw. Kung bago ka lang sa aking channel, huwag na huwag mong kakalimutang mag-like, mag-comment, mag-share, mag-subscribe sa aking YouTube channel at hit mo na rin ang notification bell para ma-notify kayo sa lahat ng mga bagong videos na aking i-upload sa mga susunod na araw. Ang video tutorial natin ngayon mga maestro ay tungkol sa kung paano ba natin ma-accomplish ang ESAT o Electronic Self-Assessment Tool for School Year 2020-2021. Ito po ay step-by-step tutorial na may kasama pang free soft copy ng ating ESAT. Kaya inaanyayahan ko po ang lahat na panoorin nyo ang ating video mula umpisa hanggang sa dulo para mas maintindihan ninyo kung paano ba natin magagawa ang ating ESAT for School Year 2020-2021. So wag na nating patagalin pa. Tara, umpisa na natin. So bago tayo dumako mga maestro sa ating tutorial kung paano ba natin sasagutan ang ating ESAT, no, or Electronic Self-Assessment Tool, magkaroon muna tayo ng konting background, konting overview. Ano nga ba ulit ang Self-Assessment Tool RPMS or SAT RPMS? No, so ito ay almost the same lang naman kung maalala ninyo sa mga nakaraang school year. Ito po ay dati na nating ginagawa, no? Kaya nga lang ang pinagkaiba po ngayon, unlike before, kung maalala natin, ay pumipila tayo sa ating ICT room na kung saan ang ating ICT coordinator ang nag-assist. Isang computer lang ang ginagamit, no? Para sa ating ESAT. No? But this time, because of the pandemic, no, ang ating pong ESAT ay every teacher na po ang gagawa. Alright? So napakalaga po na malaman natin, no, mayroon tayong idea kung paano ba natin 'to i-accomplish, kasi alam ko baka yung iba sa atin ay nakalimutan na, no, kasi dati ginagawa natin 'to with the help, no, with the assistance of the ICT coordinator, but this time maaring gagawa kayo, nasa bahay lang kayo. So much better po na mayroon kayong idea. So please watch the video until the end para hindi na po kayo mahirapan sa pagsasagot ng inyong mga ESAT, no, in the future. Kasi alam ko maybe next week, no, your school head will start to ask you, no, to accomplish the ESAT, no, this electronic self-assessment tool, no, kasi kung maalala niyo, ito po ay bahagi ng phase 1 ng ating RPMS. So nasa phase 1 po siya, part po siya ng kailangan natin ma-accomplish during the phase 1. So yun, kailangan po natin itong matapos. Alright, but let us wait mo, or wait nyo po muna yung order ng inyong mga school head, order po ng inyong mga SDO, no? So ito po ay pangunang kaalaman lamang po para mayroon na kayong idea. Alright, so what is Self-Assessment Tool or RPMS? SAT RPMS. Alright, so the SAT RPMS comprise self-assessment questionnaires within the RPMS designed for teachers and master teachers. Alright, so lahat po ng teachers and master teachers ay kailangan pong mag-undergo ng ESAT. Okay? It can be used as a starting point of informal purposes of self-reflection to clarify performance expectations and determine which competencies to focus on. O, dahil dito, ma-assess po natin yung ating mga sarili, malalaman kung ano ba yung mga competency na kailangan mag-focus ang bawat isa sa atin. Alright? It guide discussions about goal setting and professional development needs. Okay, so malalaman po ng ating mga SDO, pag nakita na po nila yung summary ng ating ESAT, so malalaman po doon kung ano ba yung mga kailangan nating i-develop professionally. Alright, so pag nagkaroon po ng mga seminar in the future, doon po mag-focus yung ating mga education supervisors, yung ating mga school head, para mas ma-improve pa po yung certain area, certain competency na mababa tayo. Alright? The self-assessment tool RPMS, SAT RPMS, there are two SAT RPMS tools. The first one is the SAT RPMS for Teacher 1 to 3. Second one is the SAT RPMS for Master Teacher 1 to 4. Okay. Yan, the self-assessment tool or RPMS. The electronic self-assessment tool is an electronic version of the SAT for RPMS. So almost the same lang naman po siya. Pinakaiba lang ng ESAT, syempre, gagawin natin siya via our laptop or computer. Yung SAT naman po ay may questionnaire tayong sasagutan. Pero yung content po niya is almost the same lang. Parehong-pareho lang po. It is a self-assessment tool that helps teachers reflect on the different objectives related to their professional work. The tool supports schools in analyzing school-wide SAT data of teachers to help plan for teachers' professional development. So nakita na, banggit ko na po kanina, kung saan pong competency mahina yung teacher, in particular, doon po magpo-focus yung ating mga EPS, yung ating mga school head na mag-conduct ng mga seminars related doon, mga trainings para ma-improve nila yung competency na yon. Alright. The results of the self-assessment will guide teachers on which RPMS objectives they must improve and the areas where they need coaching and mentoring. So dito na po papasok yung mentoring ng ating mga master teachers. Kaya napakahalaga po ng self-assessment tool na ito. Ito naman po yung roles and responsibilities of key personnel for ESAT of school year 2020-2021. So this is particularly designed for this time of pandemic. Okay? So for the teachers, opening of ESAT and then answering of ESAT. So syempre, kanya-kanya na po tayo ng sagot. Kagaya ng nabanggit ko kanina, bawat teacher po ay mayroong kanya-kanyang file para magsagot ng ESAT. Alright. And then, ICT personnel and the department heads, ang role naman po nila is collecting ESAT data and then generating summary results of ESAT data. So, pag nakasagot na po lahat ng teachers sa particular school, so doon po papasok ang mga ICT natin, mga department heads, so sila po yung magko-consolidate noon. And then the school head naman is generating summary results of ESAT data, analyzing summary of results of ESAT data, and then submitting the school summary results to SDO. So sila na po mag-analyze yung ating mga school heads, no? Kung saan, sabi ko kanina, kung saan particular na nangailangan ng mga training, no? So mga school heads po yung mag-analyze noon, and then after analyzing, they will submit the results to SDO. Alright, and then the SGOD, HRDS will generate summary results of ESAT data and then analyzing summary results of ESAT data. So okay, so sila naman po yung in charge doon sa pag-analyze ng summary results of ESAT data ng lahat po ng schools sa isang SDO. Alright. Next, the self-assessment tool, RPMS, roles and responsibilities. So, ang kinuha ko lamang po dito is yung teachers and then para sa school ICT coordinator, no? Kasi dito lang naman po yung involved tayo. So, teachers and then the school ICT coordinators and the department heads. Okay? Ayan. So, number 1, take the ESAT and answer it with utmost honesty. So, kung ano talaga yung nararamdaman mo, ano yung ability mo, ano? So, yun po yung isasagot ninyo. So, kailangan po maging matapat tayo, maging honest tayo sa pagsasagot. No? Kailangan mag-reflect po yung sagot natin sa ESAT sa totoong tayo as teachers. And then, print the results of the ESAT and keep record of the printout. So, ipiprint po natin yan, no? Pero no need na pong isubmit sa ating mga ICT. So, yung po na-print nyo na hard copy, kayo po ang magtatago noon. And then, submit the soft copy. So, ang kailangan nyo pong isubmit is the soft copy of the ESAT file to the department head or the ICT coordinator or to the school head. So, yung pong soft copy ang kailangan nyo pong isubmit, not the printout. Alright. And then, prepare the IPCRF development plan based on the ESAT and discuss it with the school head to come up with a final development plan. Okay, so kasi kung maalala ninyo, sa ating IPCRF, meron po tayong development plan, no? So, kailangan po naka-base yung ating development plan na gagawin doon sa result ng ating ESAT. Okay, now, for the ICT coordinators naman and the department heads, they are the one opening the ESAT survey file, collecting ESAT survey files for all teachers, and then generating summary results of teachers' self-assessment, and then they will be the one to submit school-wide ESAT data to the school's division office or SDO. Alright. Next, there are some things to remember or reminders before using the ESAT file. So number 1, the ESAT for school year 2020-2021 works best in Microsoft Office 2010 or newer. This shall be used during phase 1 of RPMS 2020-2021. So, make sure po na kapag kayo ay magsasagot ng ating mga ESAT sa ating mga computer, sa ating mga laptop, kailangan po ay MS Office 2010 or mas later pa po, no? Mas updated pa. Huwag po kayong gagamit ng 2007 or 2008 kasi baka po hindi siya compatible. Hindi magpa-function yung mga formula kasi ito po ay macro-enabled, no? Yung ating ESAT na template. Alright. So, kung wala po kayong Microsoft Office 2010 or mas updated version pa, so pwede po kayong manghiram siguro sa inyong mga co-teachers para hindi na po kayo mahirapan, hindi po kayo padoble-doble ng ginagawa. Okay? Or kung pwede po sa school kayo gagawa kasi baka sa school ay mas updated yung Microsoft Office ng inyong mga computer, no? Next, each teacher shall have one ESAT collection file. So sabi ko kanina, dati isang ESAT lang sa isang school, isang file lang kasi ang ICT coordinator yung nag-assist. But this time, each teacher po kailangan merong isang ESAT collection file. Alright. And then number 3, don't type in fields with drop-down button. Dako na tayo. Paano ba natin gagawin or sasagutan ang ating ESAT template? Okay. Alright. So, nandito tayo mga kamaestro, no? Start na tayo kung paano ba natin mabubuksan at masasagutan ng ating ESAT for school year 2020-2021. By the way, sa mga wala pa pong soft copy, sa mga wala pang template, ang atin pong Google Drive link para ma-download nyo ng free ang ating DepEd Prescribed ESAT for school year 2020-2021, nandyan po yan sa ating video description at ilalagay ko rin po ang Google link sa ating comment section. Naka-pinned comment po yan, ibig sabihin sa pinakataas pong comment, andun din nyo po makikita ang ating link para ma-download nyo ng free ang ating template. Okay, so ang pinaka first step natin para mabuksan natin yung ating ESAT file, no? Kasi pag dinownload nyo yan mga kamaestro, ito yung makikita nyong folder, no? Naka-zip siya, no? So hindi nyo siya agad-agad mabubuksan. So the first thing to do is we're going to extract the file or the ESAT file and save it on the desktop. Okay, so I suggest sa desktop nyo po siya i-save para mas mabilis nyong makita. So, how can we extract the file? Alright, so the first thing to do, no, or the first thing to remember is that you don't need to double-click the file. Wag na wag nyo po siyang i-double-click para mabuksan. Or all we have to do is to right-click it. Alright? So, right-click. And then, ito po yung makikita ninyo. So, ito po, nakikita nyo, extract files. So, we're going to click this one, extract files. Alright. Now, mga kamaestro, pag na-click nyo yung extract files, ito po yung lalabas. So, pipiliin nyo na po, kasi sabi ko kanina, mas advisable na sa desktop nyo siya isa-save para mas mabilis nyo siyang makikita. Alright. So, hanapin nyo po dyan yung desktop. O, ito po yung desktop natin. So, click nyo naman po yan. So, makikita nyo naman po siya pag naka-highlighted na blue. Ibig sabihin, yan po yung napili ninyo. Alright. So, click OK. So, i-click na natin yung OK. Now, pag na-click nyo na yung OK, go to your desktop and double-click the DepEd Prescribed ESAT for school year 2020-2021 to open it. Alright. Ito na siya mga kamaestro. Ito na yung na-extract natin. So, double-click. Ulitin ko ha. Double-click. Ayan, nag-open na siya. Okay na. So, kapag na-open nyo na siya, open the ESAT file and enable macros. So, depende po sa mga version ng ating laptop na ginagamit, sa office na ginagamit natin. So, ito yung ginagamit ko po kasi medyo updated siya. So wala na po kayong makikita dyan na enable macros. So, pag may nakita po kayo, anyway, pag may nakita po kayo na enable macros dito sa part na to, so, i-click nyo lamang po yun. Alright? And then, enable editing. Kasi para ma-edit nyo. Okay, so this time, dahil wala tayong nakita, so let us proceed to the next step. So ano na yung ating next step na gagawin? We're going to accomplish the participant consent data privacy agreement form. So nasaan ba yung agreement form na yan? So, i-click lamang po natin yung start. So, pwede nyo rin pong basahin yung introduction. Ayan. So, sa atin, hindi na natin siya babasahin kasi baka magtagal tayo. But for you, if you want to read it, you can read. And then, after reading the introduction, you are going to click start to begin. Alright. Ayan. So, kapag na-click mo na yung start, ang next step natin is accomplish the data participant consent data privacy agreement form. So, how can we accomplish this one? We are just going to click agree. So, by clicking agree, you will be directed to the next page. So, malinaw po yon. Kapag click natin yung disagree, hindi tayo makakapag-proceed. So, ang i-click natin dito is yung agree. Ayan, I authorize the personnel of Department of Education to collect, process, retain, and dispose my personal information in accordance with the Data Privacy Act of 2012. So, click agree. Alright. So, after clicking agree, we're going to, the next step is, we're going to accomplish part 1. So, the part 1 is this, the demographic profile. Okay. So, you are going to enter the needed information by either typing it in the empty cells or the white cells. Ayan, nakita nyo po yan mga kamaestro yung white cells. Or by clicking the drop-down arrow and selecting the demographic information applicable to you. No? So, you're going to read the instructions indicated in each field. No? For each area of specialization and subjects taught, tick all the boxes that apply. So, mamaya, makikita po natin yan mga kamaestro, no? Okay. So, name of employee. So, nakalagay naman po dyan, all caps, last name, first name, and then middle initial. So, try natin. Kunyari, so, una po yung last name, Rizal. And then, Jose. And then, P. Yan. Kailangan po naka-caps lock. And then, employee ID number. So, kunyari, 456-02245. So, kunyari, yan yung kanyang employee number. Nakalagay po dyan, type no employee number if you have none. So, kung bago ka pa lang sa DepEd at hindi ka pa na-issuean ng inyong employee number, so you are going to type no employee number. Ulitin ko po, kapag wala pa kayong employee number, hindi pa kayo na-issuean, so you are going to type no employee number. And then position. Sa position po, mayroon po tayong drop down. Ayan, so pipili lang po kayo dyan, kunyari, teacher 3. And then employment status, meron din po tayong drop down. Kunyari, ikaw ay regular permanent. So, click nyo naman po yan. And then age. So, sa age din, meron din po tayong drop down. May category po dyan. Under 25 years old, 25 to 30 years old, and so on. So, kunyari, ang age mo ay 36 to 40. So, click nyo naman po yan. And then, for sex, meron din po tayong drop down. So, male or female. So, male. Alright, and then, number of years in teaching. Meron din po tayong drop-down mga kamaestro. So, hindi tayo mahirapan. May category din po siya. 0 to 3 years, 0 to 3 years, 4 to 10 years, and then more than 10 years. So, kunyari, more than 10 years na si Jose Rizal. And then, highest degree obtained. So, meron din po tayong drop-down. So, kung master's degree, kung doctorate degree, or bachelor's degree. Kunyari, master's degree. Ayan. And then, degree obtained. So, please specify. Okay? Next. Ayan, level taught. Ayan. Select from the drop-down options. You must set curricular classification first for options to appear here. So, pipiliin muna natin dito mga kamaestro yung curricular classification. Ito po yan. So, baka magtaka kayo mga kamaestro, bakit hindi kayo makapagsagot dito? Ayan, no, hindi nyo siya mapipindot, wala kayong pagpipilian. So, nakalagay dyan, select from the drop-down options, you must set curricular classification first for options to appear here. So, ito po yung sasagutan muna natin. So, kunyari, ang curricular classifications ng school nyo is kinder to grade 6. Ayan, so pag kinder to grade 6, lalabas na po dito yung level taught. Kung anong grade level ka ba nagtuturo. Kung kindergarten or elementary. So, halimbawa, ang piliin mo naman dito ay, pakita lang natin yung mga scenario mga kamaestro. Kunyari, ang pinili mo naman ay kindergarten to grade 6 and then grade 11 to 12. So, maiiba rin dito. Ayan, nadagdag nyo yung senior high school. So, pag pinili nyo naman dito ay, kunyari, itong kindergarten or kinder to grade 12. And then, mayroon kayong tertiary. Ayan, lalabas din dito yung kindergarten, elementary, junior high school, and then senior high school. So, depende po sa curricular classification. Okay, so piliin natin kunyari itong, ayan, kinder to grade 6. Ayan. So, level taught, kunyari elementary, and then grade level taught. Ayan, kunyari ang tinuturuan mo ay grade 5. Okay. Ngayon, kung mayroon, baka magtanong kayo mga kamaestro, what if nagtuturo ka ng grade 5, nagtuturo ka ng grade 4, so kung alin po yung mas marami kang tinuturuan, so yun po ang pipiliin ninyo. Kunyari, mas marami yung tinuturuan mong grade 5, so grade 5 po ang piliin nyo dito. Okay? Next, region. So, mayroon din po siyang drop down. So, kunyari, for a Calabarzon. So, pipili lang po kayo dyan. And then, division. Meron din po siyang drop down. Kunyari, Cavite City. And then, district or municipality. So, type in. So, ito-type nyo na po rito ang yung district or municipality kung saan po nandoon yung inyong school. So, kunyari, kami ay Cavite City pa rin. And then, school ID. Type nyo rin. So, ito-type nyo po. Wala po siyang pagpipilian. School name. Type in the name of your school. So, mas maganda po. Buo. So, Dalahican Elementary School. Alright. And then, school type. Mayroon po siyang drop down. So, urban or rural. So, kami ay urban. So, click urban. And then, school size naman. Meron din po siyang drop down. Small, medium, large, or very large. So, kung medium, so kami may medium. So, click natin yung medium. Alright. And then, areas of specialization. Okay? Alin ba dito yung tinapos mo or saan ka ba dito specialize sa subject or area? So, please tick all the boxes that apply. So, kung mathematics ka pa and then English ka pa, so you're going to tick English and mathematics. Alright? So, kunyari, ako ay English, or si Jose Rizal ay English. So, click natin yung English. And then, subjects taught. Ito na yung actual na tinuturuan mo sa inyong school. Na, by the way, kung others pala, click nyo yung others and then susulat nyo dito kung ano. Specify nyo dito. Subject taught naman, ano yung tinuturuan mo ngayon sa school nyo. Kunyari, TLE, and then, EPP, and then MAPE. So, please tick all the boxes that apply. So, kung lahat yan, so tick mo siya lahat. Walang problema. Alright? Kung mayroon pang kulang na wala dito, so others, and then specify nyo dito kung ano yon. Alright? So, kapag okay na yan mga maestro, you are going to click next. Alright? Click next. Ayan. And then, our next step is, you are going to answer the objectives part 2 appropriate to your profession or to your position. Alright. So, nakalagay dyan yung objectives. Okay. Andito na po yung ating content and pedagogy. PPSC Domain 1, PPSC Domain 2. So, ang gagawin po natin dyan is we're going to tick the circle that corresponds to how you rate the objectives based on the level of capability and level of priority for development. So, please answer the ESAT objectives honestly. So, dito na po natin i-apply yung honesty is the best policy. You must or you may write some personal comments about your practice in relation to the objective at bottom of this page. Alright. So, yan po, level of capability and then priority for development. So, kunyari, ayan o. The first one is the content, knowledge, and pedagogy. PPST Domain 1. 1.1. Applied knowledge of content within across curriculum teaching areas. PPST Indicator 1.1.2. So, kunyari, ikaw dito ay, ang level of capability mo rito ay high ka na. No? So, yung priority for development mo naman dito is moderate. Okay? So yan. Then we have 1.2, ensure the positive use of ICT to facilitate the teaching and learning process, PPST indicator 1.3.2. So kunyari, napakagaling mo na sa ICT, nagamit mo siya ng tama, so level of capability mo is very high, so priority for development mo naman is siyempre low na siya. Hindi mo na kailangan masyado. Next, applied a range of teaching strategies to develop critical and creative thinking as well as the other higher order thinking skills. So PPST indicator 1.5.2. So kunyari dito ay moderate ka lang, okay, sa level of capability, and then dito naman sa priority for development mo, syempre high. So kailangan mag-focus ka dyan, okay? Then diversity of learners and assessment and reporting, PPST Domain 2 and Domain 5. So ito po yung kanyang mga objectives. Alright, so gagawin natin ka maestro, bibilisan ko na para mas mabilis nating matapos tong video na to. Pero syempre kayo dapat babasahin nyo yan lahat. Kasi sabi nga natin, lahat dapat ng sasagot nyo dito ay totoo, no? At based sa inyong ability as teacher, no? Pero sa atin, bibilisan na natin siya para mas mabilis tayo matapos. Okay? Basta make sure mga kamaestro na binabasa nyo po lahat ng objectives na makikita nyo dyan. Alright? Okay? Ayan. Okay. And the next is the plus factor. So ito po kasi medyo importante pong part ito. So for the plus factor, perform various related work activities that contribute to the teaching learning process. So kung mataas po yung marami ka nang nagagawa sa school ninyo, so okay ka na dito, lagay mo dyan yung high, and then priority for the development na syempre is low. Okay? And then, dito po sa pinakaibabang part, optional, in the space provided, you may want to make some personal comments about your practice and the objectives on this page. So kung gusto nyo pong magkaroon ng karagdagang comment about sa inyong mga sa mga objectives dito sa ating mga sinagutan kanina, so pwede nyo po siyang isulat dito or i-type dito. So, kung wala naman, okay lang kasi nakalagay naman dito is optional. So if in case tapos na kayo lahat, kindly double check kasi pag mayroon po kayo nakalimutan, hindi kayo pwede makapag-proceed. So double check nyo po kung lahat ay na-tick nyo na po, no? Kailangan wala po kayong ma-miss. Alright? So, yan. Ayan. So, kapag okay na, mga kamaestro, so, dito na tayo sa next part. So, i-click lamang po natin yung next. Okay. So, after clicking next, ito po yung magpa-prompt sa atin. No? So, nandito yung ating part 3, the core behavioral competencies. Alright. So, the core behavioral competencies. So, tick the box of the behavioral indicators that you demonstrated during the performance cycle. And then, after that, you're going to click save. So, kung lahat nyo naman po yan ginagawa, so the first one is the self-management. Ayan. The second one is the professionalism and ethics. The third one is the results focus. 4 is teamwork, and then service orientation, and then last one is innovation. So kung dito tingin mo lahat mo naman yung ginagawa, so pwede nyo po siyang i-tick lahat ng boxes. So ulitin ko po, kailangan honesty is the best policy. Kung talaga pong ginagawa ninyo, i-tick ninyo. Kung hindi nyo naman ginagawa, huwag nyo na po siyang i-tick. Alright? So tayo po kasi for demonstration purposes only, para mas mabilis tayo. So, wag na natin siyang basahin, no? Kasi ito po yung sample lang naman pong video natin. Hindi naman po ito yung actual na isasubmit kong ESAT, no? Okay, for demonstration purposes only lamang po siya. So, kunyari, meron kang hindi nagawa dito. Kunyari, itong number 4, hindi mo siya nagagawa. So, wag mo siyang i-tick. Walang problema. Kung gusto naman, isa lang yung i-tick mo, okay lang. Kaya lang, baka mababa yung rating mo niyan. Okay, so usually, lahat naman tayo as teachers nagagawa natin yan. Siguro, mayroon mang isa or dalawa na hindi natin nagagawa, pero imposible naman yatang isa lang yung ginagawa mo dyan sa lahat ng yan. Kasi 5 po yan eh. Ayan, so innovation, kunyari, ayan, nagawa mo naman siya lahat. So, pag tapos ka na, pwede mo ulit siyang i-review. Ayan, click mo lamang tong bar na to sa gilid. Pwede mo siyang i-double check kasi baka may mali ka na itik or may nakalimutan kang itik. Alright? So, kapag okay na, so click save. So, pag mayroon kang gustong balikan, click mo lamang yung back. Okay? So, pag okay na, click mo na yung save. So, pag na-click mo na yung save, you can now view your assessment. So, ito na po yung mga sinagot mo kanina. Ayan. So, lahat ng mga pinag-isipan mo kaninang isasagot sa part 1, sa part 2, and then doon sa introduction. Ayan. Yung mga information na nilagay mo kanina. Andiyan na po siya lahat. So, pwede nyo po siyang i-double check. Ayan. Ayan na po. Yung part 2. Ito yung ating part 2, the functional objectives. Ayan. Ayan na yung ating level of capability and then priority for development. And then, the part 3 is the core behavioral competencies. Ayan na rin po yung ating mga sagot kanina. Ayan. So, kapag okay na po, no? Ayan na po yung ating pinaka-individual summary. So, ang next thing to do is, you're going to print it. Kasi sabi ko, kailangan meron kayong hard copy, no? So, tatanda po natin that the teacher should ensure that his/her computer is connected to the printer using the file and print options in Excel or in MS Excel. Printout is set to A4 size bond paper. Okay? So, make sure nyo po na habang ginagawa nyo itong isat na to, kung nasa bahay po kayo, ay connected dapat ang inyong laptop or computer sa printer. Or, kung nasa school naman po kayo, kailangan connected din sa printer. No? Kasi, printout shall not be filed by the ICT coordinator or department head nor submitted to the principal. So, sabi natin, ito ay for the record po, or the teacher should be the one to keep the hard copy. Okay? So, kapag okay na, i-click mo lamang yung print. Ito po, napakadali lang. And then, kailangan po, ang nakaredy yung papel ay A4 size. Okay? Kasi sa A4 po ito yung ating pong template ay sa A4. Okay, so kunyari, tapos nyo nang i-print, no? Na-click nyo na yung print, tapos nang mag-print. So, you're going to click finish to protect your data. Okay, so click finish. Ito po, andyan po sa ating screen. So, yan. So, you're going to click finish. So, pag na-click nyo na po yung finish, ayan. So, ito po ay password protected. So, wag po kayong mag-alala na baka baguhin yan ng inyong, alam ko hindi naman gagawin ng ating mga ICT coordinator yan, ng ating mga department head, but for security purposes only. Alam naman natin na hindi nila papakialaman yan, pero para mas secure talaga, ayan, we are required to enter or to create a password para siguradong kayo lang ang pwedeng magbukas niyan at wala nang iba. Alright, basta or make sure na tatandaan ninyo ang inyong mga password na ginamit. Kasi pag nakalimutan nyo yan, hindi nyo na siya ma-recover. Okay? Ayan. So, kunyari, ang password, ayan o. Enter a password minimum of 6 characters with which to lock this file. Once finalized, the password you entered here will be required to unlock this file for viewing your results. So, kung nakalimutan mo yung yung results mo, so pwede nyo po siyang i-view ulit. You are going to unlock by entering the password that you had created. Okay? So, kunyari, 6 characters, ha? Ayan. 6 characters. And then confirm. So, be careful tayo. Then, kapag okay na, click the finalize button. So, saan po dyan yung ating finalize button? Ito po yan mga kamaestro, finalize button. Okay, so yan po yung nakalagay, survey completed. Okay, submit this file to your department head or school head for consolidation. So, pwede nyo siyang ma-view. Ayan, so pag gusto nyo siyang i-view, no, mga kamaestro, pag gusto nyo siyang i-view, kailangan mong ipasok ang password kanina. Alright, so try natin. Ayan, sana magbukas, no? Baka mamaya hindi siya magbukas. Alright. Ayan. So, okay na, di ba? So, na-view ulit natin. No? So, halimbawa, tapos mo na siya ulit i-view. So, ang gagawin natin is click finish again. Ayan. So, hindi mo na kailangan pang maglagay ng password kasi yun pa rin yung password na gagamitin mo. Okay, kapag tapos na, here we go. So, the last step will be what? We're going to submit the soft copy of the file to your department head or ICT coordinator or school head for consolidation. So, isasubmit nyo na to. Alright, so make sure mga kamaestro na bago nyo isi-send ang inyong mga soft copy sa inyong mga ICT coordinator or department head, kailangan po ay na-rename nyo na po siya, no? Kasi mayroon po tayong uniform file name na kailangan sundin or gagamitin, no? So, ano po ba yon? So, i-rename natin siya. Alright. So, DepEd Prescribe ESAT. So, DepEd Prescribe ESAT. Ayan. And then, school year. Capital letter po siya. School year. And then, 2020. May gitling. 2021. And then, after nyan, mayroon ulit siyang gitling. Level. Ano bang level ang tinuturuan mo? Kindergarten? So, kung kindergarten, ilalagay nyo dyan is kindergarten. Kung elementary, ilalagay nyo is elementary. And then, kung junior high school, ilalagay nyo is GHS. And then, kung senior high school naman, ilalagay nyo is SHS. So, dahil tayo ay elementary, so, pwedeng ilagay natin dito is LM. Ayan. And then, gitling. And then, teacher's surname. So, apelyido muna. So, Rizal. And then, comma. And then, first name. Jose. So, ganyan po yung ating susundin. Ulitin ko po. DepEd, prescribed. So, small letter po yan. And then, ESAT. Space, SY, space, 2020, gitling, 2021, gitling, and then kung anong level ang tinuturuan nyo, kung kindergarten, so kinder, kung elementary, pwedeng LM, kung junior high school, JHS, kung senior high school naman is SHS, and then your surname, and then your first name. Okay, so pag okay na, good to go na po yan mga kamaestro. So you are done with your ESAT for school year 2020-2021. Congratulations! Pwede nyo na siyang isend sa inyong mga ICT coordinator and department heads. Alright, so dito na nagtatapos yung ating video tutorial for this day. Sana po ay mayroon kayong mga natutunan. Kung mayroon pa po kayong mga karagdagang katanungan, pwede nyo po siyang i-message or pwede nyo siyang i-comment sa comment section ng ating video. Or pwede nyo rin po akong i-PM sa aking official FB page, El Maestro Official. Maraming salamat po. Once again, El Maestro. See you on my next vlog. Bye-bye!